Hello everybody, hope y'all having another blessed day. In today's video we are back on a game of Wizard101. Again, another video where I showcase to you guys basically my gear setup, which for today's video is going to be my level 180 maxed out life wizard. One that not only do I use for support build primarily, but it's also going to be one of my raid in school. So maybe a little extra setup you may be able to see today, my ghastly raid setup as support. So with that in mind, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Now, starting off in this video, let's go first into our aggro based build. Alright, show you basically what I'm running for basically an offensive set on my life here, in case I have to be playing solo, or whatever reason I'm hidden, or helping out at our lower level players. Get into that in just a bit. Alright, so first thing here, damage wise and health wise, I'm rocking 15,700 free health. That's a lot of freaking health on life, especially being basically aggro. 220 damage, 47 universal resist with 58 resist to fire, 33 accuracy of 10 to bounce. Rocking 732 crit, 683 block, 51 pierce, because it has to be at least 50 for me to approve. And then power pip 104. Alright. To do this, the drill also. Rocking basically going to be that Life Abomination. We're going to have the Life Abomination boots. We'll have Abomination 1. We have the Abomination Alum, the Abomination Ring, and the Abomination deck box. We'll have the Damien Robe from the Cabal Raid, which if you don't have the Cabal Raid, you can also do open up the Marleybone Motorist Pack Part 2, which you can find from the Crown Shop for free $99. And then I'm also rocking on here is going to be the lovely Fairy Key Charm. I believe there actually is going to be a better version of this. I believe if I go back to the guild real quick. I haven't got the drop yet, or maybe this is not as good. I may have it actually in my deck. Let's see. Did I have it saved here? 180, 180. Okay, I have the 170 here, which I guess you could rock this also. It's probably actually be more resist overall. It's probably actually just better overall if you have the Crime Fighters version of it. And it would give you also your own basically amulet, basically blade. So this is probably actually better to use. Reason why I'm walking the Fairy Key still is that I'm not really caring about that one stat resist at the moment. And I really do like the idea of rocking these kind of star blades. Anything that also gives me a blade for myself, and then also blade to storm, that's pretty nice. Alright. You never know, a lot of times I'm still gonna be questioning with my storm. Having that extra option for a storm blade is very beneficial. Alright. With the mount, I'm rocking the Life Gulcher because I had access to it. And then for the pet Waterton, lovely Chloe, and lovely Chloe is going to be a Quint life damage pet. So 5 damage stats along with Mighty. Alright. So that gets us up to that 220 damage. Alright. And then for the deck setup, what we're rocking with it. Alright. I apparently was not hidden for a while on this account, but what I would typically rock on this account, alright, let's just kind of put this together real quick. So probably something along the lines of just click some more random cards, move some stuff around. Rock you. Rock, of course, a Forest Lord, not the gym. What that thing is. Thing's ugly. Thing was ugly. And let's chalk you on there. So probably something maybe like this. Instead of maybe that Leaf. Nah, we'll keep the Leaf Storm. I like Leaf Storm. So probably something like this is what I would rock probably on this account. For aggro build, basically I would have the Frenzy into the Force if I need to, or I can do the Frenzy into the Zand, the Bandit, into a Leaf Storm if I wanted to, or of course I could double blade, blade into a Frenzy into a Force Lord, whatever your preference is. Alright, that's basically what I would rock on this account as my aggro build. Now, if I'm going to more a resist setup, and okay, I'm gonna say this very weirdly, this is a new spawn for this. And I know it's just random to pop up there, but I have farmed this place so much previously to get this Echor, so this is a very new spawn. So, thanks KI, I guess, for breaking it and then adding more. I don't know. Alright. But now we're going to switch now to our resist setup, or tank setup as I call it, before we get to our Vanguard setup. Alright, so this will be my tank setup on my account. For my tank setup, my health, 18,799. Yeah, a lot higher than my aggro build. It's ridiculous high, alright? I'm pretty much immortal. And of course, I had high health. we got to have high resist, which this resist is 74 universal resist to all schools. So almost 19k and 74 resist. Have fun trying to kill this wizard. Accuracy is amazing also. Alright. Block 647, so block is not that good compared to other accounts and their stats, so that's fine. 114 outgoing, so life is also known for healing, so not only am I unkillable, I can just heal everything back and heal my allies. And we do keep that high power pip. Now to achieve this, walking that Dworgen hood. I think I walked that Dworgen hood drip. Alright. We're also going to be rocking on here the Horus robe. I still think the Horus robe is like the best, basically the best resist, healing, tank robe in the whole game for almost all accounts. Alright. Y'all have the Hide Stompers, which compare them to the Abominations. You can see that one, I do lose around 200 health, which is whatever, because I gain that extra 4 resist. Alright, so I think it's a lot beneficial. I could drop down if I wanted to have, extra 200 health. I could maybe break into 19,000. Alright, but then I'll be down to basically 70 resist, which, it's what your preference is. In fact, let's just check it real quick. Yeah, so I'll be at 19,000 health and 70 resist if I swapped out the boots. So it's just whatever person's preference would be with those. Alright. Now, see here. Yep. For the wand, walking the Xander's wand. This is because I also use this one as my raid one because it gives the energy. So I decided to use it for my tank set too because it also has those 2 square sockets. So that's an extra, what is that going to be, like 1780? Yeah, 1,780 extra health is off of this one by itself. All right. The Aethum, we have the Hide Aethum. All right. Which, you could also pick your preference, but I'm going with this one because this is also going to be my raid Aethum. All right. It does give me that triangle socket, the extra health jewels, you name it. So it's pretty nice. The outgoing heal is also really nice too. All right. Also rocking my other raid amulet, which is going to be the Bold Dream Stalker amulet because it does give me basically that item cards is really nice, which is going to be that donate power, which does actually pop up in some raid strategy, especially with the ghastly raid, depending on what strat you're running. So that's why I still run the Stalker amulet over basically the Hide amulet you can get. Which if I run over here real quick to wherever he's at, around this corner here, I can show you the Hide amulet, which basically should be the upgraded version of this, which is this one here. As you can see, it gives you like a little bit more health. Alright, but the item cards is not as good. And it's not even more resist, which is a problem too. Alright, because you don't really need Impair, you don't need Purge. You can just learn those if you need to use them. But you cannot learn Donate Power on a life. Alright, and those are pretty costly to craft in my balance. So, nice having that available. And I do socket on basically a Dark Wind, which is key to one of the strategies too in the Ghastly Raid. Alright. With the ring, I'm rocking basically also the Abomination ring, but instead of rocking Pierce, this time rocking more outgoing heal. Okay. The deck is the Monster Hide deck. It gives you more health. And the pet is going to be a double resist Mighty. Will cast Hex pet with basically more medic with more outgoing heal, and then also an extra Hex card. Alright. Making this is a very good, solid overall basic deck setup. Alright. And in deck setup, from support, you know the drill. It's going to be basically those 2 basically storm buffs, blades along with sharpen, the double feint with one of the potent, and then the mass feint. Right. So that's just my everyday kind of support setup for my life. And then last part of the setup is going to be my Vanguard set, because I do like to raid, alright? And I've switched to raiding primarily as a support, and the Vanguard strat of Ghastly, and also going to be with the Cabal. And this would be the kind of setup I rock now on those accounts, alright? And this one basically implements, like, looking at a lot of the stat maxes, the stat max I can have, which I'll say makes this basically an unkillable wizard. Now for the Ghastly raid, alright? I'm rocking 18,000 still, 245 health, which I do get to keep, I think, all of that help for the raid. So I go into Ghastly, fight against the final bosses, whatever, with 18,000 health, sometimes more health than the bosses we're fighting, alright? My damage is 117, which is okay since I do have to one hit from time to time. So I get to feel like I'm actually helping out for once. Resist, 76 resist, which I do get to keep, I think, all of that, if not most of it. Which is really nice to see. Accuracy, gotta make sure we have that high accuracy for the storm and live spells, so we got those where it needs to be. Don't care about crit. Don't care about block. Don't care about pierce. We have 150 outgoing. So I will be using Rebirth a lot throughout the kind of the raid. A lot of times they'll send in basically a unicorn spell into me a lot of times. So if I can get that, I can do like almost 2k off of like a Horn of Plenty free cast on me. Which is really good for helping the teammates so we don't have to heal as often. And then Power Pip is fine. We don't care about Shadow or Pip conversion. And they had to have over 200 Arch Mastery, I believe. So I'm at 225 my setup. Alright. And we do this by rocking the hide, basically the hide hat. Alright. We don't care about the two kind of the dagger talents there. We just have to make sure we have that 45 outgoing talent, which is nice. Alright. Rocking the Falcon's, the Horus armor. Again, best outgoing armor in the game. We got the Hide Stompers. So we're going to also stock it on that 46 outgoing heal again. We got the Xander's Focus Staff. We got the Monster's Hide Aethon for the extra outgoing again. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. We got the Bold Stalkers, or Dream Stalker for that donate power for other types of strategy we may run, and also I can stock it on that Dark Wind 35 bubble. We got the Abomination Rings, so instead of basically the Pierce, we have more outgoing. For the pet, I rock Miss Collie here, which I do use from time to time just because of the item cards, right? But it's the Gloomy Goatling. And I basically run a double resist Mighty Pet. And then I have Arch Mastery, 56 Arch Mastery %. And then I have 20 and 15 energy. Now, I do have a different version of this pet. It's on a Gloomy Gulcher with the Stormblade strategy. And it's basically going to be a double resist quad energy pet. Alright, but typically that's one of the two things I would run. I run this one so my Arch Max stay high and I can put even more health drills on. Alright. And then I have to run the Pinwood. I don't have the starter deck. But if you didn't know, to make sure you're able to get basically your Power Pip from the correct turn of Ghastly, you have to have around 25% for your orb proficiency. Which means you have to have basically a small deck size. Alright. So this is a 7-card deck, so I can get any card I need anytime I need to. With I run Rebirth, Attenuate, 1 Storm Trap, and 1 Spirit Weakness in the main deck. Right. And then in kind of the item card side deck, I run 2 basically 1 hits into my Dark Wind. This is all I ever have to really need. And in the side deck is also going to be just a bunch of Shatters. Right. And this is basically what I run on basically right side, Vanguard side of the Ghastly Raid. So if you're ever trying to get into the Ghastly Raid, if your own guild, you're a support. If you're a Life Wizard, you're going to be that support role to back up the Storm, so whatever you're going to be, your hitter's going to be. This will basically be kind of deck setup you probably want to rock. Alright, it's been very successful so far, and I don't ever really die anymore. Alright, so I highly recommend it. Now with that in mind, that's going to do it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Guys, help you support me and helps me make more videos for you to enjoy. Now, of course, if there's anything you want to see else on this channel, it'll Wizard101 videos, it'll content, it'll games themselves. Also comment down below, and you never know, they can pop up as a future video. Now with that in mind, I hope the rest of the week is blessed. I hope to see you again in the next video. With that in mind, I'm out.